Hey, my name is James, the non-professional, back with another video of Draw. And today we're doing Spider-Man. Now, you're going to see me often do profiles because profiles help you pin down what the proportions of a character drawing should be. It gives you the right idea of what the head size should be. It gives you a right idea of what the arm should be in proportion to the torso and the chest and the stomach muscles and the like. Now, just as I said before, we're in the rough stage, so we're drawing pencils where our pencils are real loose, and we're just throwing lines on the page, and we're just having a little fun with it. But the head is what you generally measure your comic book figures in. In other words, they're either like 6 heads tall, 5 heads tall, 4 heads tall, depending on what character you're drawing. And so the head is generally the same. I found that the head is generally the same size as the shoulder to the elbow, the middle of the shoulder to the elbow. And then the forearm is also the same size as the head. So from the elbow to about the wrist area, you got another head size. And the elbow should fall in line between the middle of, I guess, the torso area. Now, the chest is roughly 2/3 of a head size, but just depending on how big you want to make the chest. But learn to draw profiles. Profiles are good because, man, they help you learn how your proportions should be. Now, we're in lines right now, so keep your pencils tight. Spider-Man was an uphill battle for me, let me tell you, because I always used to draw characters like really big, like really beefy. And drawing a more slender, more athletic, more gymnastic-looking character was something that I just wasn't used to. But I learned Spider-Man from watching my childhood, I guess, hero Todd McFarlane. He used to draw Spider-Man like crazy, really awesome. He's the one that sort of coined the gigantic eyes on Spider-Man. Now I'm not a big fan of the whites inside the eyes, so I generally like to black out the eyes, kind of like Deadpool look. And so that's why you're seeing the sort of blacked out eyes. Because if you look at spiders in real life, they have blacked out eyes. Now, a lot of times people have a hard time drawing the webbing on Spider-Man. And the best way to do this is to use the lines to sort of make the muscles more rounded. In other words, the shapes that are coming at you are more at the foreground. You're going to see those lines sort of space apart. And man, I used to hate drawing the webbing until I realized that you can actually use the webbing to make more believable shapes or make the figure a little bit more three-dimensional. Now the mask or the cowl, it actually the pinnacle of the webbing starts in between his eyes, and then the lines just sort of flare out from there. And that's how you do his webbing. And all the curves of the webs, they all point towards the head. And then when you're doing the webbing around the mask or the cowl, the webs just sort of curve towards the middle of the eye. So here we go. We're in inks. And you want to pin down more definitive lines because this is, of course, the final product before colors, which I'm not going to do colors because I don't know how to do colors. I mean, it would just be a terrible look after, this. But like I said earlier, and if you really want to learn proportions, do profiles. Profiles are basically, if you don't know what profiles are, it's just basically the side of a character. Some hatching under the arms. And be varied in your lines. Some of them heavy, some of them light, or not so heavy. Because when you have varied lines in your inks, it makes the character look more interesting. And sometimes you even use open lines, like the lines that you see around the shoulder area and around the bicep. Open lines are basically a line that has like a tiny bit of white in the middle of it. I remember I was critiqued at a comic book convention over my drawings, and they told me never split the logo on the chest. And I don't know why. I just keep doing it. I keep breaking that rule because I like to see the more defined muscle structure around the chest area. But they keep telling me do not break the logo. with Batman, do not break the bat on his chest. With Superman, do not break the S on his chest. With Spider-Man, do not break the spider on his chest. So here we go with the webbing. And like I said, man, use the webbing to your advantage. Use it to actually make your form a little bit more three-dimensional. So anyways, that's my Spider-Man. And I hope you guys learned some things from this. Always remember your 3 Ps: persistence, patience, perseverance. That's how you'll mature in anything you endeavor.